Republic Act No. 6552. An act to provide protection to buyers of real estate on installment payments. Section 1. This act shall be known as the Realty Installment Buyer Act. Section 2. It is hereby declared a public policy to protect buyers of real estate on installment payments against onerous and oppressive conditions. Section 3. In all transactions or contracts involving the sale or financing of real estate on installment payments, including residential condominium apartments but excluding industrial lots, commercial buildings and sales to tenants under Republic Act No. 3844, as amended by Republic Act No. 6389, where the buyer has paid at least 2 years of installments, the buyer is entitled to the following rights in case he defaults in the payment of succeeding installments. A. To pay, without additional interest, the unpaid installments due within the total grace period earned by him, which is hereby fixed at the rate of 1 month grace period for every 1 year of installment payments made, provided that this right shall be exercised by the buyer only once in every 5 years of the life of the contract and its extensions, if any. B. If the contract is cancelled, the seller shall refund to the buyer the cash surrender value of the payments on the property equivalent to 50% of the total payments made, and, after 5 years of installments, an additional 5% every year but not to exceed 90% of the total payments made, provided that the actual cancellation of the contract shall take place after 30 days from receipt by the buyer of the notice of cancellation or the demand for rescission of the contract by a notarial act and upon full payment of the cash surrender value to the buyer. Down payments, deposits or options on the contract shall be included in the computation of the total number of installment payments made. Section 4. In case where less than 2 years of installments were paid, the seller shall give the buyer a grace period of not less than 60 days from the date the installment became due. If the buyer fails to pay the installments due at the expiration of the grace period, the seller may cancel the contract after 30 days from receipt by the buyer of the notice of cancellation or the demand for rescission of the contract by a notarial act. Section 5. Under Section 3 and 4. The buyer shall have the right to sell his rights or assign the same to another person or to reinstate the contract by updating the account during the grace period and before actual cancellation of the contract. The deed of sale or assignment shall be done by notarial act. Section 6. The buyer shall have the right to pay in advance any installment or the full unpaid balance of the purchase price any time without interest and to have such full payment of the purchase price annotated in the certificate of title covering the property. Section 7. Any stipulation in any contract hereafter entered into contrary to the provisions of Sections 3, 4, 5 and 6, shall be null and void. Section 8. If any provision of this act is held invalid or unconstitutional, no other provision shall be affected thereby. Section 9. This act shall take effect upon its approval. Approved, August 26, 1972.
For more real estate topics, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.